nobody wants to stand on the side.
I don't know, it's after 3.
You want me to stand and talk this way?
No, we're fine. I'm thinking you're okay. All right. Whatever you want to do, it'll work.
If I can have everybody's attention. Good, we got some good whistlers out here. Well, what we're going to start out here first, and then proper deals with Cattleman here, but we got David Klaus. He's a singing painter, and he's going to do our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I'll tell you what, that was awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, I really appreciate everybody showing up here today, and we thought about a lot of things on building this building, but we forgot one thing, and that was a podium. So that's one thing we're going to have to work on here. But so bear with me here. I got 2 hands, and I'm not really good with both of them at the same time. But first of all, I want to thank all of our distinguished guests that are with us today. We greatly appreciate you in many ways that you supported our organization, and it was, let's go ahead and hold it. But appreciate it, and how you supported our organization and our members. And we look forward to working with you. Thank you, Mel. But we look forward to working with you long in the future, either at meetings here at our nice facilities, or at your offices, or at other events across our state. But today, as we gather here, we're now dedicating our new office building. And for all our members that's been active in this planning and the funding and the construction, this indeed is a culmination of a long-term project. All of us that can take great pride and satisfaction from our work and vision as we dedicate this office today. Also, for many of you, this dedication and grand opening merely marks the beginning. The building is complete. Now we've positioned ourselves for the future with much work ahead. We are the beef state, the epic center of U.S. and global beef and production. The challenge before us is to continue to maintain and enhance the cattle business throughout Nebraska for generations to come. A little bit of history where we got here today. It started out in 2015. Our president at the time, Dave McCracken, he appointed a task force to explore whether we could continue to rent an office building or build our own. In addition to Dave, the other members that are there, and they're all here today, was Ron Kopel and Doug Pardee and Troy Bradenkamp. And really appreciate all the time that they put within that task force. But it really took them 2 years. They looked at a lot of different sites and a lot of different ways. We looked at maybe build out on a building, but then we landed with this spot right here. And then that task force came to our mid-year meeting in Wayne and gave a report to our board. And as that report, then well, it's all said and done. You know, we voted to go ahead and do this venture. And so that's where we got, and really it was kind of interesting at the time. There were our president at the time was Troy Stowwater, and he accurately stated, and I quote, "As we have been saving for this opportunity and are looking forward to investing in a facility that members can be proud to call the headquarters for Nebraska Cattlemen." But soon after, in that mid-year meeting in the fall of 2017, a fundraising committee was named, and the capital campaign has begun. But right now, I'd like to acknowledge these people that was part of that and their leadership and hard work on that fundraising committee. If Dave and Ann Brunts, I don't know where they're at, but raise your hand. Oh, there's Ann. Sorry. Yep, there you go, Dave. And then also we had Reese and Heather Bruning. See it there? There they are, right in back. Thank you. And then Jana Jensen. Yep, there's Jana right over here. But thank you so much for all the work that you did. But really, when it boiled down to it, they stepped up, and so did all of you. Whereas we got to this, and they traveled across this state, and within 18 months, they raised about $9.5 million. $9.5 million. That's a pretty doggone good amount. So, 950,000. I was just hoping for the.
Maybe put the rest in your pocket.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I don't know why I kept saying it that way. I'm a cattle feeder, I guess.
Get one more pin in.
Yeah, just one more. I can do it the next time, I know. But anyway, this dream was fully realized by all of us. So that was a great project, and we really do thank you for all the time that you put into that, and it was just tremendous. Well, after we got that started, then we had to start the construction, and we got this project started, and we set up a building committee, and we looked over the plans, and basically kind of helped out with all the construction as we went through this whole project. And that committee was made up of Dave McCracken and Jake Mayer and myself. And so it was really an interesting time. We had a great time. We had a lot of things that we had good ideas that we came up with, and we got a little safe room back there. We call it the McCracken Safe House. So, but that's when he had to make a donation. So, but yeah, and it's on the wall. Yeah, there you go. But it was really a lot of fun doing this. But I'll be honest, we kind of talked about this when it got down to the flooring and the paint and things like that. We figured, you know what, 3 dudes are not going to do this very well. And so we hired Dana Ball, and she's just right behind us right here. And Dana did a lot of the design, and she did design on that up there. Yeah, so that's why everything looks good. I mean, if it was 3 dudes, it wouldn't look that good, but that donor wall is just absolutely amazing. It looks great. So, but really do thank you for all that time. And also I'd like to recognize Dave Johnson and Matt Wills. I'm not sure if they're here. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, Dave's here.
Oh, okay, there they are. Hey, thank you. But they're the architect folks at Studio 951, and they took our ideas and they worked their magic and they created the plan for this building. So really appreciate all the time they did. One other thing there's one other person that did an awful lot. You had Dave and Jake and myself, and then plus you had the Mosiks that I'll be mentioning here in just a minute, here doing the construction, and we had Studio 951, but we had to have somebody that would keep everything in line. And there's no better person to do that than Lee Whitey. Lee, it was truly a pleasure working with you throughout this whole project, and I'll tell you, it's Lee, you go to different things, and Lee just seems calm as a cucumber all the time. He always just seems calm. But Jennifer, I don't know if he's that way when he gets home, but really do appreciate everything you did with helping with that. And also too, as I mentioned before, our construction was done by Dave and Mark Mosik of Mosik Construction. And I know Dave is here, Mark was here earlier, had a function to go to, but and I'll tell you what, as you walk in with the framing and things like that in this building, their craftsmanship is some of the best I've seen. And they did just an absolute tremendous job. And like Mark made the comment, he said, well, if they didn't, Brenda would get on them and make sure it was right. So, but anyway, no, they really worked hard. And we had a few revisions along the way, and they did such a great job of keeping us so close to budget. And so thank you very much for what they've done. As you look around us here, and it's hard to see it right now with all the people, but on the landscaping here, we work with the University of Nebraska Landscape and Architectural Program. And Kim Todd there got her classes together, and they created this landscape plan that you see all around us. And basically what they tried to do is use the many grasses and flowers and trees native to Nebraska, and what depicts what we are in our great state. So it really looks great, and we're glad to have it. A little bit of a problem getting it in, obviously, with all the rain, but we got her done. So, but appreciate them doing that. But that's a little history where we got to this today, and as we sit here, and today basically what I want to talk about is where we dedicate ourselves to continue our legacy, which we trace from the formulation of the Nebraska Stock Growers in 1888, and then the merger of the Nebraska Livestock Feeders Association and the Nebraska Feedlot Council to the stock growers in 1988. We acknowledge the lessons of governance, determination, compromise learned from our predecessors. And we organize to protect the financial interests of our members. We're proactive in nature. We work through public policy to maintain and enhance a positive business climate and offer and develop educational opportunities for members. We are governed by a board of directors selected from 9 regions across our states. And they live by the core ideals and policy established by grassroots members. This milestone that we celebrate today is possible in a large way because of the financial stewardship of all these boards since the merger 31 years ago. But as we come to a close here, we're gathered here for a twofold dedication. Obviously, we have the pleasant task of dedicating this building at 4611 Cattle Drive. And it's really great to have that, great to have the Cattle Drive as our street name. But most importantly, we're here to celebrate the rich and long-standing traditions passed down to us from many generations of cattle producers. And I truly believe that God made this state for beef production, so we can help feed the world. I know He did that. But our cattlemen and cattlewomen who came before us rightfully realized the vast resources our state holds. Below our state lies the vast Ogallala Aquifer. And then they saw the rolling sandhills as a perfect place to raise and grow some of the highest quality beef in the world. And our predecessors realized our high quality corn production on productive soil starting in through the Platte River Valley and as it stretched out to our eastern border. And they quickly realized that corn-fed beef is what our world demanded, and they produced it. But when it all boils down to what the cattlemen are, but today we rededicate this and to the values of what it is with cattlemen, where handshake is a deal done, and mostly the hard work, determination, and core values passed down by so many generations before us. And I close, we are cattlemen and Nebraska strong. But thank you. It really is exciting to get this going, and I tell you what, it's great to have everybody here. I know it's a nice warm day, which we need a little bit of heat, but didn't have to be today. But couple things that just to mention. I know there's some flyers laying on some of the tables around, and there'll be a special edition in our magazine in September. And Amber Coleman is running around, and you can talk to her about that. But if your family would like some ad space to be part of that, she's got some things that she could work out with you. So really like to have you get a chance to take a look at that. So, and then one other thing that's really good, Governor, I don't think you had time to have it, but I know you like beef. So, but we got some smoked prime rib, and there's plenty left. And want to make sure that everybody gets back there and gets some of the good smoked prime rib and some more food. And there's some wine and beer and back and water and what have you. So. Once again, thank you very much for everybody being here today. We greatly appreciate it. Yep, Mike?
If you're done, we wanted to, before you get to the beef, take the opportunity to get a historic group photo, if everybody's game for that. So, if you're done.